more than I think I have in a long time, and it felt really good.
You touched on it.
Yeah,
You touched on it with Scott a little bit. You usually have tunnel vision. We saw you out there today engaging with the fans. Will you be able to keep your competitive edge as high as it was and also be able to be more engaging with the fans?
Well, I think come game time it might be a little bit different. I'm going to try and obviously get the ball in the hole as best I can. But in the practice rounds, I think just acknowledging the fans and their support for me, especially what has transpired in my life, for them to still cheer for me is just incredible. It really is.
Tiger, you and the rest of us discovered a lot of media we didn't know existed until the accident. I just wondered your response to the mainstream media, which was a lot more critical, obviously, than it had been. Were you surprised and how, you might say, the group in here treated you, the golf writers, normal sports writers, or do you sort of expect that?
Well, I was surprised at what mainstream media. I mean, that's. I think it's also the times have changed as well. It's with 24-hour news. It's in. You're looking for any kind of news to get out there, and I know a lot of my friends are in here, and I haven't seen them, I haven't talked to them, but I've read their articles, and of course they've been critical of me. They should, because what I've done was wrong. But then again, I know a lot of you in here are my friends, and will always be my friends.
Alex.
Tiger, it's been reported that you took the prescription drugs Ambien and Vicodin. Can you speak to when you started taking those, how you needed them for tournament golf if you did, and if you ever became addicted to either one of them or received treatment?
I've taken them, yes. I've had some, as everyone knows, pretty interesting knee situations over the years. I've had, 4 operations now on my left knee. And then last year, with my torn Achilles, it hurt quite a bit at times. And yeah, I did take that, and I took most of the time I was on the Ambien was when my dad was sick, and when my dad died. That was a tough time in my life, and so that's when I was taking that some of those things to help me sleep, and that's about it.
Have you ever received treatment for
No.
it? No.
Gentleman here on the watch.
Tiger, how is your knee? And is it still giving you pain on a daily, weekly, monthly basis?
My knee feels great. The only time it doesn't feel good is when a front comes through. That's when most people realize that, and I get arthritis in there and get a little older. But other than that, it feels great. It's strong. It's explosive again, which is great. And now my Achilles is good now, so I'm training like I used to years ago.
Larry.
Tiger, if I could just follow up on Chris's question. There are a lot of doctors who do blood spinning, and what was it that prompted you to go to or have Dr. Gallia come?
I've always worked with so many athletes, and that's also one of the reasons why I went to saw Dr. Whitten for my eyes. He's done a lot of different athletes, and there's a certain comfort level to that when a person has worked with athletes.
Gentleman down the back.
Yeah, Tiger, you had said earlier that you were in some form of a rehab. Can you talk about, are you still in rehab and what that rehab was for?
I was in there for 45 days, and it was to take a hard look at myself, and I did. And I've come out better. I'm certainly a much better person for it than I was going in. And does that mean I'm ever going to stop doing that? No. I got to still continue with my treatment. And that's going forward. That's not going to continue. That's not going to stop in the near future for sure.
What was it for?
That's personal. Thank you.
Ron.
Tiger, federal investigators have contacted some of the other athletes who have worked with Dr. Gallia. Have they contacted you as part of that investigation?
Yeah, they actually contacted Steiny, and we'll full cooperation whenever they need me. But as of right now, they haven't asked, for my time.
Gentleman in the black shirt.
Tiger, you said in your statement that you felt entitled over the years. How were you able to, I assume that wasn't the first time you thought that, but how were you able to rationalize that while you were engaging that behavior and still playing such winning golf?
Well, explain that again.
You said that you were entitled, you felt entitled to what you were known before, and at the same time, I'm wondering how you were able to rationalize that in your mind while it was going on.
Well, that's part of the problem I had, is that the way I was thinking was not correct, and as part of where I was at, I was rationalizing, I was denying, in total denial at times. Whatever I did was I lied to myself, I lied to others, and just because I was winning golf tournaments doesn't mean a thing. The way I was thinking caused so much harm with the people that I love and cared about the most on this planet.
Did you only realize that after it became public?
After I started going to treatment, that's when they start stripping all that away from you.
The gentleman behind you, been waiting a long time.
Tiger, your behavior, personal life before Thanksgiving, do you think it negatively impacted your play on the course at all? Could you have been playing better had you had more discipline in your personal life?
I would like to say yes. I would be certainly would have had. I would be more centered, more balanced, and that's where I'm headed towards. That's what I'm working towards each and every day. I meditate religiously again, like I used to. Going back to my roots in Buddhism with my mom. I need to do these things the way I used to do it, and unfortunately, I got away from that, and I just lost that, and unfortunately, also lost my life in the process.
Oh.
Tiger, the story about the doctor you've been working with has been out there for several months. And it led to some assumptions that you just denied. Obviously, people writing or speculating that you might have been doing performance-enhancing drugs. Why not talk about that sooner than now to get that put aside? And also, you referenced your Achilles. Was that 2 months before you actually came back to golf last year?
Okay, why didn't I come out? Because I haven't done any interviews, first of all. And, when I did, Kelly and Tom, I don't believe asked me those questions. But as far as the injury, yeah, it was a week before the Chevron tournament, and yeah, so it was a couple months prior, and it's also one of the reasons why when I did come back and I did start playing, I was hitting the ball so short, I couldn't push off on my right side, and as I said to Christine, I toured a couple more times throughout the year, and needed the injections to try and heal the wound.
Gentleman here.
Tiger, when you made that statement in February, you gave the impression that you might not even come back this year, that you might be out for a long time. Did you genuinely believe that at the time? And coming back, is that entirely your decision? Do you do it with the blessing of your family and your wife?
Well, when I gave my speech in February, I had no intentions of playing golf in the near future at all, and I just had barely started practicing 2 days prior to that. That was the first time I hit balls. And then I started hitting more balls, and I started getting the itch again to start playing again. And Hank came down, and we started working again, and that felt great again. It felt like old times, And so much has transpired, it felt like old times to have Hank out there. We're working on my game, and for hours and hours and hours on end. And that's why I made the decision to come back and play. And the reason why I didn't come back and play earlier than that, whether it was Tavistock Cup or Bay Hill, is because I wasn't ready for it.